Austin's 911 operators answered more than 34,000 emergency calls during February's winter storm. That's double the time and the amount that they'd get in a normal week. Because of that increase, operators couldn't get to critical calls as fast as they usually do. Now, a tipster tells us the 911 center is understaffed, a problem that's amplified during disasters. KXAN investigator Kevin Clark did ask public safety officials how they'll be able to attract and keep those vital employees in the future to ensure your safety. On the line.
Austin 911, do you need police, fire, EMS, or mental health services?
Police.
They pick up the phone when people are having the worst days of their lives.
There's two gentlemen threatening to kill me.
This call is one of the many APD 911 operators took during the winter storm, proof that other emergencies don't stop for severe weather.
They're standing outside the window with weapons.
911 employees would get nearly double the usual number of emergency calls that week. It's a scenario this former 911 operator can't fathom.
When I was starting, I was excited because I wanted to be able to help people.
The former operator asked to be anonymous to protect her identity. She claims her training during the pandemic didn't prepare her for the job.
They would just take over. If they saw me struggling, they would just take over. Rather than help me complete the call.
She says her stress was magnified by a skeleton staff.
How manageable was the workload of calls for the staff that was there?
It was overwhelming.
Turnover is high. At full staff, APD has 230 employees working in the 911 center, including operators, dispatchers, and supervisors. According to documents we obtained through a public information request, 100 people, or nearly half of the full roster, have left since 2019. The current roster shows 194 employees, with 36 vacancies and 23 of those at the call taker position.
As soon as you hang up, there is no time to busy out and take a breath. You will be getting another call.
This former 911 operator fears what could happen during major emergency events in the future. In particular, the number of callers who could be waiting for someone to pick up the phone.
Very, very often calls do get put on hold because there's just not enough people to answer the calls.
It's call after call, and it's always an emergency.
We visited the 911 call center and spoke with Lieutenant Ken Murphy, who manages APD's communications division. He defended the training for employees, calling it thorough and extensive. A syllabus for new City of Austin call takers includes 4 weeks of classroom instruction, followed by 8 to 12 weeks of on-the-job training. But staffing is another story.
We started looking into the staffing situation just based on tips and speaking with call takers and former call takers just about their experience here. They acknowledged that they felt staffing was an issue. What do you think?
It is an issue.
Murphy says in 2019, the 911 center had vacancies in the single digits, but he says staffing challenges began toward the end of that year and grew increasingly worse.
Some have left because they moved out of state. Some have left because they found a higher paying job. It's just a tough job. And it's tough to find people who can last in this job.
Austin 911, do you need police, fire, EMS, or mental health services?
When someone calls 911, it goes to the first available call taker. If all operators are on a call, this light goes on, meaning the caller is on hold. When we were at the 911 center, this only happened a couple of times for a brief second or two.
While we do hold calls at times, because of call volume, those high visibility incidents where you have several people calling 911, we still get to those calls in a relatively timely manner.
Data we obtained shows while 911 answer times have slipped due to staffing shortages, the center still exceeds the national standard of answering 90% of calls in 15 seconds or less. But hiring more call takers and dispatchers is a priority for District 6 City Council member Mackenzie Kelly, a former volunteer firefighter.
It really does hurt my heart.
That was her reaction when we showed her the list of departures from the 911 center.
When I look at that list, I see a lot of names of a lot of people who no longer work for the city, and that needs to change.
She's requesting first responder stipends for 911 center employees in next year's budget, an additional $100 a month per employee. Lieutenant Murphy says he's pushing for that, as well as money to reconfigure the operations floor, which would accommodate new hires. Kelly says filling those positions is critical.
What do you think Austin can do to be able to incentivize people to bring more people in?
Pay will help, definitely, but we also need to make sure that we're targeting the right types of people for these roles.
The former 911 operator tells us she resigned from Austin 911 due to stress about staffing and training. She says public safety is at stake, along with the morale of her former colleagues.
My heart still stops when I see some of these calls. There were 2 days where I went home and I was like, you know what? I'm just worthless. I'm not even worth being on this earth anymore.
The group called NENA, short for the National Emergency Number Association, creates those call time answering standards. It says staffing issues aren't just in Austin. There's a 15 to 20% turnover rate for 911 workers nationwide. Right now, there's a bill in Congress that aims to classify 911 operators as public safety employees. They're currently classified as administrative employees federally. NENA says the 911 SAVES Act is largely symbolic, but would give those workers more bargaining power for better pay and benefits. Here in Texas in 2019, state lawmakers passed a law to classify 911 dispatchers as first responders. Tomorrow night after the Olympics, we'll look beyond Austin at how another Texas city hired 100 911 employees and the lessons it learned from its staff overhaul. Kevin Clark, KXAN Investigates.
Kevin, thank you. If you're wondering how much money Austin 911 workers make, records we obtain show new call takers start at less than $37,000 annually, not including overtime. Operators with more than 10 years of experience are making $50,000 to $55,000 a year. You might remember City Council had agreed to move Austin 911 out of APD control and into its own department. That won't be happening anymore. A bill passed by Texas lawmakers and signed by the governor punishes cities that take money out of police budgets, which could include capping property taxes, deducting sales tax revenue, and stripping annexation powers in such cities.